¿Qué lo que? Let's go.
Go past this light. Then at the next one.
You know what they say. If you want it done, you gotta do it yourself. Take a good look at her. This is the last time you're gonna see her like this. Okay, what is up, guys? Thanks for tuning in once again with Built J. I have a little treat for you today. As you can see, this is a Honda CRV B20. Not your average B20. Well, technically yes, but what it's paired up with is not so average. You don't see them much, and that is a 5-speed manual all-wheel drive transmission. So with that said, we have something planned for it, and we'll see what we're gonna do with it. So with that said, we have a CRV chassis here, and we're going to be taking that motor out along with the transmission and putting it somewhere else useful. So there we go. So let's jump right into it, and we're going to get this motor pulled. Stay tuned, guys. Okay, so before we pull this motor, I want to check the health of the motor. So the only way to do that is to check the compression on every single cylinder. So here in this B20, of course, we have 4 cylinders as shown over here, and you want to check the spark plugs to see if there's anywhere or any alarming wear. So right now all these look good. They're the cheapest spark plug you can get, in my own opinion, which is Autolite. I only run NGKs on my Hondas. So but with that said, we're going to jump into it and do a compression test and check the health of the motor before we get this pulled. Okay, so I moved the camera and you didn't catch the PSIs on cylinder 4, 3, 2. I'm going to show you on number 1, but right now the PSI between each cylinder has been consistent, roughly between 170 and 180 PSI. So overall, 3 healthy cylinders, and we're about to test cylinder number 1, which is the last cylinder to test. So let me go ahead and do that now. Alright guys, if you guys can see that, you can see that's how all the cylinders ran. It was close to 180, either that notch right behind 180 or the notch that it's on now. So overall we have a healthy motor. So now we can move forward, and now we got to look into the transmission. There was some transmission issues. That's why the person sold the CRV to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna replace the clutch. So later on in another video, I should be taking apart the transmission from the B20. So let's move forward. Okay, rock it up, baby, on the treetop. When the blame was, the cradle will rock. That's how you get it done. Damn, where are those people that said they were gonna help me? Nowhere to be found. Like my mom always told me, you want something done, you gotta get it done yourself. Come eso mierda, o que se joda. Mira eso. Yo no quiero jugando con esos motor. Saca eso y ponle una otra carro. Tú lo sabes, mira eso. Dale, coge eso, carro, dale. What is up, guys? Thanks for tuning in once again. So we finally have the motor out, and now it's time for the tear down, essentially, at least in my part, to remove the block and the transmission from each other. So we're gonna remove the T-bracket and this stabilizer bracket here. So we'll have to remove that from the all-wheel drive transfer case, and go ahead and remove these T-bracket bolts along. Oh, let me grab our light here. Along with our starter. So we got 2 bolts here, and then we got a couple bolts that go around the housing of the transmission, which goes straight into the block. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna loosen up the T-bracket and everything over here, and go from there, and then we'll start dismounting everything else. All right, guys, so we have the transmission off. And I also took out the transfer case for the all-wheel drive. When I was turning this, it was binding up, but now it spins freely, so there's nothing wrong with the transfer case. I think it's internally. I checked the throwout bearing, and it's not entirely bad. It does make some sounds, but it's not completely shot. The clutch does have some life on it, if you look at it, so it doesn't seem to be too bad. But there was something alarming that I did see over here. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Silicone? Nope. I think it's a Walmart bag. So I'm gonna take that out. Hey, look at that. What does that look like to you? Looks like a bag. Let me know if you guys have bags in your transmissions too. That'll be cool. Psych. So that's what I got. Some plastic inside the transmission as well. I don't think you guys are going to be able to see it, but yeah, you see all that glitter? Might have to do a transmission rebuild. There's probably some bad bearings on the inside, so we're going to be going into it and seeing what the hell's up. But that's all right. I'd rather do a rebuild. That way I know I have a fresh tranny I can have fun with. So we're going to have to open this baby up. All right. So we have the tranny taken apart. Yeah, baby. So we're gonna need to replace some synchros as well as some gear teeth. So we'll have to do a rebuild on the trans for sure. You can see where it has that neochrome color. So that thing was eaten to shreds. Whoever was driving this didn't know how to fucking drive. But yeah, that shit's torn to shit. Here's the magnet and the tranny. And those are pieces of the gear. So, safe to say, rebuild is necessary. Whew, that's nuts. I've never seen a transmission beat to that extent. Wow.